Dun, 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 dun. Tracy got a fake ass friend. Uh, uh. Tracy got a fake ass friend. Tracy got a fake ass friend. Uh, uh. Tracy got a fake ass friend. Tracy got a fake ass friend. Uh, uh. Hey, people. Tracy, you got a fake ass friend. Mm-hmm. Here's what I tell him. Hi, Almond Brown, Sharon Morrison, Fraser Laurie. How y'all doing? My sound okay? I don't be screaming at y'all. Baby, that motherfucker. Welcome back. Let me speak to some of y'all. Tracy, you got you a fake ass friend, girl. Now, we ain't got a problem with you. I'm so lovely to see you live again. I ain't seen a live face around here. There's only a handful of them that even bother to go live anymore, girl. And it makes such a big difference when you can see a person and not a little bouncing ball. So we're glad you're back, but I am no less disheartened by your friendship with that boy, right? Now he's coming on here acting like he done did the right thing. He done did the right, everything's about him, you know. But I'm going to talk about this a little bit because I'm still curious about the real story. Hi, Terja Von Trail. Thank you for the super chat. You're number one. That's cute. What are we talking about? Jay Wilson. Oh, he talking about me again, girl. Until the day you die, Miss Thing. I'll be giving it up until the day you die, bitch. I want to talk about the story that preceded the story about Tracy, the major distraction, right? Now we know that you were not Tracy's friend. You didn't act in any way friendly to her. In fact, you distanced yourself from her while she was in jail. You went on to tell us how, oh, I only met Tracy twice. I only met her 2 times. Oh, Tracy and I never talked on the phone. Oh, distancing. And now when she gets out now, you are bosom buddies again, right? Am I right or am I wrong, girl? Anyway, I see you in here, Tracy. God bless you, honey. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm glad you're back on your feet. Okay. But this boy, Jay Wilson, we would still like to discuss, where are your videos? You remember? You chicken shit piece of shit. You're always talking about how you're doing well. Oh, I don't know anything about that. Oh, I never been in jail. Oh, I never did this. Oh, I never been behind no bill. Oh, I ain't. Girl, you're telling us what you haven't done, and everything that's good, you have done, right? And then all the rest of them, they all fit over to it. Then they done, right? So how do you fit Tracy into this? Is she now? Is the law still for the lawless? See, here's the thing that's so offensive about Mr. Wilson. I'm Oga Drop, M. Tate. I just speak Almond Brown. Good to see you. How come you didn't read in a couple of weeks, Almond Brown? I was waiting for the end of the story. You all the way down to you didn't read all the way to the very end, the last 2 chapters of the whole series, girl. Might as well finish up. Sable Winners and Gina. Tracy, you got the dancing girls? Tracy got a bullshit friend. Tracy got a bullshit friend. Tracy got a bullshit friend. Make the twins stand up on them, baby. Tracy, they had us thinking that you had become Shamu, girl. They had us thinking that you were so big that you couldn't even fit on the camera, girl. And we get on and we see it's the same old Tracy. So I think it's great to be able to come online. Now, I know women have to go through a lot more to get ready for be on this thing with makeup and all this kind of stuff, girl. But it is so much, it's just a better program to me when I can actually see a person speaking, right? So I'm glad that you did. You look lovely. You got your nice new wig on. You look gorgeous. And yes, the girls were jealous. Even the ones who make a point of saying how they're not jealous. I think the Fine Monster came out with well, I think her name is Five Babe right now. I forget. Is it Five Babe or Fine Monster? She ain't did nothing to me. So it's Five Babe. She came on and she immediately said that she had 1,700 and 1,900 or 2,000, whatever. I mean, whoever brought that up. So they are watching the numbers of who can get the most people in the chat. And it applies to your friend Jay Wilson as well. He is just as jealous as the Fine Monster, right? Because these are two people who actually care about these kinds of numbers, girl. They're the ones that pay attention. Jay Wilson watches every dollar, every dime of everything, girl. So yes, he is jealous. No matter what he says out of his filthy little mouth, he is jealous because you got 1,700 people in your chat. And why wouldn't they be? You've been missing a few days, girl. They want to come and see what's going on, girl. And yes, Jay Wilson is jealous if you collected money. He'll say, oh, they jealous. They jealous. Oh, I don't care. Oh, I don't care. You do care. You're the primary one who does care, girl. Right? Because the way you see things, every dollar they give Tracy is a dollar you don't get. I'm just trying to be honest. So anyway, back to the question. Jay Wilson, I want to know why you have not put your videos back up. So far, in my experience on YouTube, I have yet to see a person take down their whole video collection and leave it down. I've seen Armand Wiggins do it. I've seen Funky Dineva do it. I've seen all these smaller people on here in Beef Sector do it. They take them down and then they put them back up, girl. Right? But you know that your mouth is so filthy and disgusting that you won't even put that bullshit back up, right? Or why wouldn't you put it up, girl? You keep saying how it don't matter. It don't matter. It don't bother me. It don't bother me. I think it bothers you a whole lot. And what a lot of people are not getting is not just that these people doxed you, is that they exposed you for being the fraud that you are. You see, Jay Wilson, you like to come on here and pretend to be a successful person when the truth is quite the opposite of that. All the time you've been bragging about these jobs you got and these careers you got, it's all been bullshit. You are a temp employee. I'm going to try to remember to keep calling you either Temp Wilson or Temp Wilcox, because that's what you are. You work on temporary assignments. You've never once mentioned that you work on temporary assignments, and which will be fine. People can work where the fuck they want to work. But no, you make it a point to come on here talking about this damn wonderful career you have, right? And then when you are exposed to be a fraud, that not only are you a fraud today, but you have been lying and lying and lying. You say you only had 2 jobs in your lifetime, yet we see you go through 6 on here since we've been in here. And you are a temp agency. You work for a temp agency, so you are constantly working different jobs, girl. That's what a temp agency is. Different jobs. So are you going to come and try to explain the situation with you? Why you won't bring your videos back, girl? Are you going to have to do job search now? Are you going to continue to brag about how I'm working? Oh, they ain't working. Oh, I'm working. I would never talk like that. Oh, we work. Oh, you don't like to work? Oh, you don't like to work? Oh, all this bragging you've been doing, bitch, it's been about a damn temporary job, girl. I can go sign up for a temporary job on Monday, girl, and be employed by Friday. You may as well go to Labor Ready. Are you familiar with Labor Ready, Jay Wilson? Since you have not been able to hold a job your entire fucking messed up life, you're probably very familiar with Labor Ready. That is a temp agency as well, but they specialize in stock clerks and physical work, sometimes construction assignments. Maybe you have to sign up for another temp agency, right? Because maybe now one is not going to be enough, girl, right? You done moved up in the white folks' neighborhood pretending that you were a middle-class person. Almost immediately after you tricked them people out of a mortgage and moved into their house, almost immediately you lost the job. When you said you came on here 4 years ago, let me see. If you came on here 4 years ago, girl, You say you've been in that house for 7 years. I mean, you're 3 years in, and you were already losing the job. It was straighter. Everything has to be based on what you say. And since we know that you're a compulsive liar, girl, what I have to ascertain is you've been lying since the day you stepped off the elevator, bitch. Soon as at the day you came here, you have been lying about everything, right? You've had job after job after job after job after job because you cannot hold a job. You're pretending to be a middle-class person, but basically you're just a hustling fool. Hustling fool, every nickel, every dime. That's why you're constantly talking about money and trying to get money out of people. And I'm gonna get a coin from it. I'm gonna get a coin from it. I'm gonna get a coin from it. And then you brought your ass. Now you brought your ass back, girl. And you're convinced in your mind, as I tried to explain over the last few days, you're convinced that being live for 6 and 7 and 8 hours, girl, is somehow accumulating something. Because the only thing that you get from being live, girl, is super chats. That's it. Only what you can beg for, girl, because you're not being paid while you are live. I don't know where all that bullshit came from, girl, and I wasn't really paying attention to it. But now that I am paying attention to it, I'm saying, what is the point with all of these hours and hours and hours and hours online, girl? And people have been asking you for months now, how are you online so much when you work full time? And you have not even addressed the issue, Jay Wilson. You're trying to move on to the Tracy. Honey, you hopped on that girl like one of them goddamn lions, girl, jumps on their prey. As soon as something else came along. 2 days after they exposed your punk ass, you went out and got a dog. Because of the love of the dog? No, you're already starting to complain about the dog. You don't want to go on the little trip for other dogs to meet because you don't really give a fuck about the dog. The dog is Mark's dog. Every time we hear about the dog, he's upstairs with Mark. Why? Because that's Mark's dog. You showed no interest in having a dog at all. What you wanted was a convenient distraction. A distraction from the fact that you've been lying to us since you arrived here, girl. So you can go on there talking about, I'm doing great. I'm doing fabulous. I'm doing fine. It don't bother me. It don't bother me. Oh, I never been to jail. Oh, I never been behind no bills. Oh, you ain't never did a goddamn thing, bitch. Right? And so you convince these people that now somehow or other, they're supposed to praise you for your success, although you have no success. I'm not buying that at all. For a hoe that been sitting up here talking about they got 5 degrees, girl. I know we're saying the same thing, so what? I want the people to understand what you are. What you are. Wait a minute. I was just thinking of a song just came to me. Teresa, here's a song for you. Don't say a word. Chrissy, this is dedicated to you. I want you to sing this song to Jay Wilson. Don't say a word. I know it's over, but life goes on, and this world keeps on turning. Let's just be glad for the good time we shared together. There will be time enough for sadness when you leave me. Yeah, for the good times. Thank you, Keisha Paul. Although he rarely acknowledges it, can you please support Uncle Tim with super chats? Oh, thank you, Keisha. Yeah, we all need a little coin. We all got to eat, honey. Thank you, Keisha. Thank you for super chat too. I appreciate you. Where's I at? I'll be here. I'm gonna stay right here. If you should ever find that you need me, tell that nigga for the good times, baby. For the good times. Anyway, masquerading as a part of the middle class. I've always identified you as trailer trash, You don't understand when you come on here constantly whining about these nickels and dimes, girl. I wish I could pull up. I wish I could pull up the analytics as I'm on here and show you guys what a joke this is, girl. How you sit up here an hour and a half, girl, and you get $16. This is the coin he talking about. Ooh, I got a coin from it. I got a coin from it. Ryder lives. That's the name he chooses to call you, girl. Beware. Watch your pocketbook, girl. Don't be shaking your pocketbook in front of this nigga, right? But she's claiming that she has no reaction, no response to Tracy getting money from Cash App Super Chats. Girl, nobody watches it like her, right? She's trailer trash. That's why she's always obsessed with money. And the only reason she's obsessed with money is because she don't have any. She don't have no money, child. Right? So y'all gonna sit around and wait until this bitch asks you to pay her mortgage next month? Because he ain't said nothing about doing no job search. She ain't said a goddamn thing about why her videos are taking off and staying off. She has not told you, has the temporary agency also told her that perhaps you need to try something else? Because we can't send you to hospitals if you're being fired on morals charges, on morals accusations, or people calling from the whole goddamn country, and you're getting hundreds of calls. Why would we send you somewhere else? So, Jay Wilson, what's the next plan, girl? We don't need to hear about you going to the gym. We think people, your fat ass, you ought to be going to the gym. So what? You going to the gym. We don't need that. We need to know about when you going on job search, nigga. Right? Because you said it's all about the job. I got a job. I got a job. So what is hundreds of jobs you've had, girl? Jay Wilson, why won't you sit down with a therapist, girl, and say, you know what? I am 50. I admit to 52 years old, which is probably a lie as well, because, the ladies like to lie about their age. It's not unusual. Why would they lie about everything else and tell the truth about that? But let's just say, for instance, I'm 52 years old. I have not been able to hold a job since I left high school. That is the truth. Can you help me? Is there anything you can do to help me to understand why I can't keep a job? Right? Where do you work now? I'm on a temp. I'm on another temp agency. I've been to most of them in San Antonio, and even that hasn't been fruitful. Well, did you finish your education? Yes, I have 5 degrees, as a matter of fact. These are disjointed degrees, and actually, I don't think I've ever really worked at anything that is associated with the degrees that I got. So perhaps I should have got better counseling, but something needs to happen, ma'am. I mean, I'm about at retirement age. I've accomplished nothing. All I have is a major debt. I have a major debt. I'm underwater on my house because I have more than one mortgage on my house. That means that, yeah. Okay, I don't need to explain. No. We already understand. You're underwater on your house because you've taken out additional mortgages already on the house, even though you've only been there for 7 years. I understand the situation, Jay Wilson. Now, how are you on the job? Why is it that nobody wants your ass, girl? Oh, how y'all doing? What y'all think? Let me see, girl. I don't even come alive until I heard that bitch go whatever, all that old fake ass shit, girl. It inspires me, honey. A person never been through anything can't tell. Girl, who is that? Sharon B. A person never been through anything can't tell you anything. He's never been through anything, girl. He's over there talking about jail. I ain't never been to jail. Oh, I ain't never been. She's gonna talk for 2 hours about jail. All in the effort to try to put someone else down and put herself up. If you don't know anything about the jail experience, if you don't know anything even about the black male experience, girl, why don't you try to do this? Why don't you try to shut your goddamn mouth? Unless you know something about it, bitch. Shut up. He's constantly on, oh, you in prison. Oh, you ain't go in that cell with that man. That man was gonna fuck you up. That man was gonna. Jay Wilson. You telling me about prison life? Jay Wilson. People, I told a story on here about one time when I was in prison. It's not that I'm promoting prison or drugs or any of that stuff. They seem to want to talk about that constantly, right? But I told a story about I was in CMC, that's California Men's Colony in San Luis Obispo, California, right? When you're arrested for a crime in California, if you get prison time, they can send you anywhere, right? And they sent me to this place, CMC, right? I was put in the cell. There were 2-man cells. I was put in the cell with this brother. Everybody, you're always separated by race, so he's always in there with a black man, right? I knew this dude looked a little crazy to me. He hardly said anything. He just kind of groaned and growled, right? And when I left the cell the next morning, people who are from that prison who have been there for years and years and said, you realize who you're in the cell with, right? I don't know. He hardly says anything, right? They said, that's that dude in Los Angeles who killed 2 gay men. His defense was that the gay men had molested his son. It was proven in court that this was not true. The gay men had never even seen his son. It was a hate crime, and this man is doing a triple life sentence. I don't know, he got to be 2 people. He murdered them, but he has 3 life sentences, right? And so he has a problem with homosexual people, right? He has not uncovered that I'm a homosexual people myself yet, right? So what I did was I went back to that cell. I politely packed my shit and I carried it and I dumped it in the middle of the yard. And I told them, I am not going back in that cell. Now, what is dumb or cowardice or anything about that? Am I supposed to be in there boxing with serial killers? What in the fuck? But he thinks he gonna tell me about that. That man was gonna fuck you up. That man was. What do you know about it, bitch? How far would you make it in prison, Jay Wilson? Right? It's a question. I mean, I think it's an interesting question, girl. Shut your mouth about things you don't know about, Jay Wilson. You don't know nothing about the streets at all, right? Nothing. But yet you can go on and on and on about everything in the streets. You know nothing about homelessness, right? But you have so much commentary about the situation with Rico. I was so happy, not only for Rico, but for you, because I know how much it pained you that Rico made a plan and it actually worked out in his favor, right? Because you never did want anything good for that boy. You never did, girl. All you want is somebody you can throw darts at, girl. That's all you wanted, bitch. Right? But you know so much about that. And you know so much about the Social Security system, right? You're constantly running your mouth about it, bitch. You don't know a goddamn thing about it. You make asinine statements about that. You think you are reading me by saying you on a fixed income. Oh, I didn't know it was a fixed income. Oh, I had no idea. And it hit a nerve. You don't understand about getting in people's business. And let me tell you something about a fixed income, Jay Wilson. Because yes, you will come and watch my video as you've watched every single one of them since I arrived here, girl. Long before you came on, you were already watching my videos. So let me tell you, so you'll understand something about a fixed income. A fixed income means you're going to get a set amount of money for the rest of your life. Now, I don't know why that's bad to you. It doesn't mean that's the only income you will have, because Social Security is called supplemental income, nigga. I mean, you supplement or whatever the fuck you can do, you can find to do, girl, right? I went over this and over this and over this, but you seem to think, oh, I'm gonna get mine. My Social Security gonna be different because of what I earn, because of what I earn. Jay Wilson, you don't even realize what an idiot you sound like, girl. A fixed income is something that you need. Why? Because you can't keep a job. That's why you need some sort of fixed income. So you would at least know that your mortgage is going to be paid, girl, and your light won't be turned off, girl. You need a fixed income, nigga, right? But you try to make it sound like it's such a lower thing, girl. And you talk about that, girl. And you even come after people talking about he's always stuck on everybody's poverty for some reason, girl. You going back in the archives and finding where people used to live years ago. I would love to get a picture of that goddamn trailer though. Now, we are agreement there. I would love to girl, I would make Miss Thing, I would make that picture and I would blow if I had a picture of that damn trailer, I'd pick it up and see that great big old picture over there. I take it down off my wall, girl, and put nothing but that picture of that trailer you crawl out of, bitch. Right? So you're the anti-us, right? You don't know nothing about the streets, nothing about living, nothing about relationships. You don't know nothing about nothing. You think you're the expert on I got a partner. I got a partner. You don't know nothing about relationships. It's taking you 52 years to find somebody who will claim your ass. But that is not a relationship. It's not like you live with the person. You don't know nothing about that boy. You don't know if you would get along with him for 2 weeks. If the boy got any sense at all, honey, if the boy got any sense at all, he would not be able to live with a Jay Wilson girl, especially when he's not used to having his own shit. Because when he got in there, all he'd be hearing about, this is my house. Oh, that's my house. Oh, use a coaster. Oh, that's my coaster. Oh, I bought this house. We know the character, girl. We know the character. You are incapable of having any kind of relationship. And now you're in your 50s doing what you should have done in your 20s. Right? Nobody wanted you. Your personality is too extreme. Frankenfurter, it's all over. Your mission is a failure. Your lifestyle's too extreme. I'm your new commander. You are now my prisoner. We return to Transylvania. Prepare the transit be. I don't think people make any more money for being on for hours. You don't, Chris Caldwell. You don't make shit for being live. Nothing. Only if people get your super chats, the only way you get any money from it. Right? So bragging about being online for 7, 8 hours, girl, and maybe you got some super chats and maybe it adds up to $40, $50, girl. How much is that an hour? You working for $4 and $5 an hour? Mm-hmm. Let me finish that statement, Chris Caldwell. I don't think people make any more money for being on for hours. They just don't give anything else. They don't have anything else better to do. What is to become their life? I agree with that. Yeah. You don't get shit for it. You get more money from if you did uploads. In this sector, nobody does uploads anymore, right? But I've noticed that in the people who are doing well on YouTube, they still do uploads. All these guys making $1 million a year and all that kind of shit, they still do uploads. And you know what? Their uploads are short. And you know what else? They're getting more for their short uploads than we are getting for being on here for hours and hours and hours, girl. It is the truth. It's just fun, something to research, to see, to watch what goes on. How can David Dobrik, that's the one of the big ones. He's not as big as PewDiePie. PewDiePie seems to stay to himself, but David Dobrik seems to always end up in scandals, and he makes millions of dollars. He got a beautiful home and all that kind of stuff like that, right? Most of his videos are no more than 15 minutes, right? Anyway. Hi, Tracy, what you say? Uncle Tim, did you get my message that you have to place your commercials now? Place them now? What do you mean? How can you place them, Tracy, if they don't play during your live videos? They don't, when you're live talking, they don't stop. You don't have a commercial in there. See, I have blockers on mine, so I don't see the commercials. I don't know where they're placed at. But for me, I've only been able to place them immediately after the video. Are you saying you can do something else? Tell me if I'm wrong, Tracy. After you finish the video, then you go and you monetize the video. And then for your replay, now nothing wrong with replays. I watch all replays because now they got this thing like 5 Babe and them, some of these people, and they followed her where you can't go back on the video. In other words, you got to be sitting there watching it the whole time and you can't start from the beginning, anything like that. I don't watch any of that. I just wait till it's in the replay, and then that way I can manipulate it to my needs, because no matter how these people feel that their personalities are so engaging, I am not going to sit on a screen and watch somebody for 3 hours, girl. I want to have the flexibility to pick and choose what I want to hear. But I don't know how you can play them now, Tracy, if that's what you're saying. I've never seen a live video, though, with commercials in it. Now, even though I don't have it, I have blockers on my and premium. I have YouTube Premium. I don't see them on my computers or on, I have blocker on my television. It's a different one. But on my phone, they would come up. I never see them. So you may know better than I do. I don't think so. I think you're getting paid for your replay. Now, I don't think I've ever got 1,000 in my chat kind of thing, but I've gotten many videos that are 5,000 or 6,000 in the replay. So still, I'm getting paid for the most of the video, but I'm getting in replay. That's what I'm saying. What else going on? Let me see. Hi, Keisha Paul. Y'all never get super chat. Y'all come for the tea, yet y'all never give super chat. Uncle Tim, give us the tea, honey. Yeah, I just never, I've never been able to bake. I've told you guys the story before that when in my addiction, if a bag of dope costs $20, let's say. Now this would be at the very beginning. At the end, I was doing a lot more than that. And I had to call the dope man. I could not stand at a phone booth. This is before cell phones, and beg for a quarter. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't make myself do it. I couldn't deal with this. Get a job. I've never been able to beg. Maybe my mama knocked the hell out of me when I did it, but I've never been able to do it. So, or ask for money. You can call it begging, whatever, but ask for money. So I've never been that good at that. But I believe that's the only way you really get money out of this thing, out of the live anyway. But we're followers here, so people start doing these. I remember Justin J was the only one doing it that I knew that I was watching, and he was only doing it like once a week. I think it was on Wednesdays or something like that. It was just to connect with his audience, right? Then they came up with the super chat stuff, and all became this money thing, which is not a money thing at all. It really is pretty pathetic. Now things happen, Teresa. I'm sure she got some good money when she got out of jail, which I think is a fantastic thing. And I will do some more of that when on payday in a couple of days, Tracy. But that was a necessary thing. I thought it was the right thing to do, because she did, lose her job for whatever week or whatever it was. Right. Let me see. 200. Keisha Paul, why you wearing them out? You ain't got to work them, baby. $200 a person? Oh, Lord have mercy, girl. We don't get it like that. Y'all been very good to me, honey. That's the only reason I got this fancy. I sit in front of this fancy Apple computer is because my chat are the ones that bought it for me. For a birthday, they gave me that day was $1,000, and the same day I got this stimulus check. I think it was $1,400 or something like that. So I had all this money. I went down and I got myself a new computer. That's where it came from. So we ain't bitching and complaining. I've had some good days. I've had some wheels to climb. But when Lord, why so much pain? Oh, I messed the song up. He gave up the gym already, girl. He gonna be slipping and sliding. Well, he said he is a compulsive eater. He is not a compulsive eater. He said he had a disease called compulsive eating, right? So he's always gonna be fighting against eating. So if it goes down, don't think it won't go back up, child. Because that's a lifestyle. You have to have going to the gym as a lifestyle. This is not something you just go off and drop a few tons and then bring your ass on here and brag about it, girl, and then go back to eating. You got the fried chicken laying in the plate right after you give your big reveal. He's working on the big reveal now. We're gonna see. I'm gonna see this big fat ass. Food starving itself. Girl gone somewhere. Don't nobody want no 50-year-old bitch, Jay Wilson. I don't give a goddamn if you went down to a size 2. It ain't gonna make no difference, girl. You still an old queen who waited too long, girl. So all the time you say I wasted all this time and all this kind of shit, girl, the children were having a ball and you missed it. You missed it. I'm gonna get a career. I'm gonna get a career. I get another degree. No, what you're gonna get is another check from the government for your student loans that you applied for. And when you finish the degree, you knew there was only one way to keep those checks coming. And that was by staying in education and continuing to get more degrees. That's what it is, Jay Wilson. But you're in such denial, girl. I don't think you're even in touch with who you are, what you are. But you wasted a lot of time, Jay Wilson. I mean, goddamn, couldn't you just got out of high school and go and become a carpenter, girl, and work for 40 years, girl? Build your own goddamn house. Oh, I got the property. I got my. You should have more than one property, girl. It's retirement time, Jay Wilson. Do you know all the people I went to high school with, girl? They're all in retirement. When I go back to Indiana, I call back there. They say, "Oh, he retired. This one's getting ready to retire." And they all, I mean, they work for plants and so forth, girl. But they've already put the time in now. You're just starting another career, girl. How you gonna start, Jay Wilson? How are you gonna keep doing these trainings, girl? Now you have really basically fucked off all the training you bragged about last year, girl, and barely made it, struggling to get by because they're not paying you anything to do that shit. They're educating you, supposedly, right? You get to be a chaplain. This is now your new career. You start a new career at 52 years old, correct? Jay Wilson, don't you understand that you have put this new thing that you were supposed to do at 52, you have put it in jeopardy? Why do I know you've put it in jeopardy? Because you've taken down all your videos and you've kept them down. You know this is still a threat, girl. It's still a threat. You're not supposed to be on here doing this shit. You're not supposed to reveal the real you because you are a phony piece of shit, girl. You're phony, Jay Wilson. Living your life in a fool's paradise. Let me see. I had no time. I miss Piggy. Denise Bright. They all get $1. Oh, they all get $1. Well, that's reasonable, Keisha Paul. I thought you told me to give him $200. Girl, I said, "Oh, I become a Jay Wilson." So the money thing is not the big deal for. I mean, believe it or not, it really isn't. It is for him because he got all these big expenses, girl. If I never got another check from AdSense or Google or you guys, I'd be just fine, child. Because of my fixed income. You all the fixed, and it hit a nerve. Most people say it hit. When you say it hit a nerve, well, if it hit a nerve, nigga, and it made me so angry that I want to come across the counter and choke your punk ass out, girl. Why would you that be licensed then to continue to do it? I was thinking when a person told you, nigga, you hit a nerve, I would say, damn, but leave that alone then. But why? Because he hit a nerve. It really bothers this dude, makes him mad, girl. Stinking ass. Trying to pretend to be middle class. You ain't no goddamn middle class, boy. Probably everybody in your chat make more money than you, nigga. Temporary. So you don't know even though you're going to get a check next month. You get a check here and there, girl. You hoping somebody will have some work for 2 weeks. Why don't you come and break it down, Jay Wilson, and try to tell the truth? Because it is the truth that will set you free. This bullshit is not going to set you nothing. You're going to continue to be caught red-handed, girl. Now, you ain't got a goddamn thing to say about this major catastrophe in your life a couple of weeks ago, right? You immediately moved on to Tracy, girl. I ain't buying it. I ain't buying it. You ain't told us a goddamn thing about what happened on that job, girl. You ain't told us why you come on here lying, talking about you made 6 figures, and everyone proved that you were a liar. When it came out your mouth, I said, he's lying. He's lying. You had not told us why you over talking about, oh, I guess I go to my Uber job. I guess I go to my Uber job. When you actually were an Uber driver, girl. When did it switch over? This is now is the work. It is your primary income. And then it switched over to a joke at some point. And then it switched back to Uber now. So are you driving for Uber now, girl? Is everything got to be a secret for the rest of your goddamn life, boy? Why? I mean, I'm just saying. Everything's a spin. Everything's a lie. I'm doing good. I'm doing great. I'm doing wonderful. Who has to go around telling somebody they're doing wonderful? Either they are or they aren't, nigga. Sir dumbass. Why the streets been so dead in the last couple of days? I knew somebody emailed me, but I knew the moment that I looked at that boy's channel, I would get inspired again, girl. PD, I had no idea what did PD say. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I never block anybody unless they're a troll. Usually the moderators do take care of all that. Thank you, Tashana, coming in. What kind of moderators I got in here? Just Tashana by herself? Well, thank you, Tashana. And Nikki with the eye patch blue. Bless you, Keisha Paul. Let me see. Let me go way back here now. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, I haven't been on the last couple of days. Anything to talk about. If something happens, you know, and not only just in the beef sector, this is primarily the beef sector, right? This is like a reality show in itself, girl. There's a certain amount of characters and you talk about each other, right? But sometimes there's an actual story going on that is interesting as well. Some celebrity thing. I don't talk about a lot of the news things. I feel like it's covered by enough people. I have nothing to add to the story. All these horrible tragedies with guns and stuff like that. That's not something that I would discuss. I don't think I'm capable or qualified to really do a thorough, in-depth. Depends on how much time you want to spend in a story. Celebrities are not that interesting to me unless something happens, honey. That's interesting. So some days are going to be just dead. And anybody talking about nothing. Teresa, you think so, child? You ain't in yet. Child, Jay Wilson is a phony. That's what is so annoying about that boy. He's a phony. He's trying to be like he's some kind of big, high shot, middle-class person. If you're so middle-class person, Jay Wilson, if you're successful at anything, girl, you would not have your ass on here, girl, acting like the lowest piece of scum on the damn YouTube, girl. You do anything for a click and a view, right? It tells the story right there, Jay Wilson. You ain't tricking nobody, girl. Let them white folks in your neighborhood come to walk to your house, girl, and see all that junk you got up in there. All that goodwill shit. Oh, God. I had no idea. Let the neighbors come in there and sit on that soiled furniture, bitch. I know they were looking out the window. They were peeking out the window when you moved in, girl. I know a lot of them were saying, there goes the neighborhood. Faking and pretending. You only you're gonna get a mortgage as them damn online job, girl. I'm a dean online. What do you do online as a dean, girl? I don't understand what would you do? Does somebody else take the job? Or the school closed down? You laid off. Don't they call you back? You fired, girl. You're fired like always. They'll say, okay, we'll be nice, and we'll say, if somebody calls, we'll tell them that you got laid off. You got fired. They didn't want you, honey. You were incompetent, Jay Wilson. They mention you on a panel. They say you can put commercials on your live. Some lady said she was going to show you. Well, really? You can put commercials on your live. If you know how to do it, tell me. I ain't seen it, honey. I should take off the blocker so I can see how many commercials actually. I never seen a person live have breaks in it where there are commercials in it. I don't know. Ain't that big a deal. But if you know the information, let me know. But like I said, if you got 600 people in your live, and then your replay, you have 4,000 people, you're still getting paid for most of the video. It's just not the live part. There's no reason to expand that 6 and 7 hours, girl. What you're more concerned with, who's clicking into you afterwards. It's my understanding, but I could be wrong. Let me know, honey. Wilson said he lets the Google put the live in, and when you look at that, if you let the Google put the live in, sometimes they'll slip by and you'll see one of my thing, and there'll be a commercial every 2 minutes, just a whole stream of commercials. But obviously, some kind of glitch or mistake or something, you'll assume it is. He does that for every video. So if you have premium, or you have what's the other one called? You have blockers on your computer itself. You might not be aware of the fact that this dude is running the commercial every 3 minutes. Now, lately, he didn't stop talking about his commercial, and he then went back to straight begging, right? Him seeing Tracy get money, he's already starting to plan his next event or his next plot to get money out of people, even though the last one was only 2 weeks ago. So we don't know if that was to catch him up on the bills that have already started to stack up when he was doing this part-time temp thing, or is he going to have to start begging for the next month, which occurs in 3 days? So Jay Wilson, were you concerned about my fixed income? When they say it's fixed, that means it's always going to be there, nigga. It's always going to be there, girl. What is bad about a fixed income, nigga? You should want to have a fixed income. Something needs to be coming into that damn track house, girl. So you ain't got to be hustling all the time. Ain't you tired, May? Ain't you tired? Whew. That mortgage man just get up on top of me and do his business. Do his business, girl. That mortgage man comes and say, I want you to kick my money out your ass for not only the current charges, but for the back charges for both mortgages, right, Jay Wilson? You see, it wouldn't be so important to discuss your finances if you weren't constantly trying to beat other people over the head with how wonderful you are and how horrible they are, how good your life is and how bad their life is. I've never even considered myself to have a bad life. What is bad about it, bitch? Oh, you made those decisions. You made those decisions. You did that. You did that. This thing. I lived my life the way I wanted to, girl. Many times, very dangerous existence, right? When I say I retired, that means I no longer do it. Whatever it was, I no longer do it. I'm able to relax. Somehow, I made it through the storm and rain. I made it. Somehow I made it. Good times, girl, for the good times. Right? AIDS didn't kill me when in the 80s, every other person that I knew is now dead. In the streets, most of the guys that I knew when I was using 20 years ago are dead, right? So how is I'm supposed to feel so bad, girl? God is good. Mm-hmm. God has been good, and I have been blessed. I am a grateful person. So for a pig like you to come and try to piss on my life and tell me what I ain't got, what I haven't got. It's extraordinarily offensive, girl. Nobody gives a damn about you living in a house in Texas. Nigga, do you know what Texas is, girl? Well, I don't. Matter of fact, I never even heard of San Antonio before I came on here. No offense, Tracy. Those automotive guys do, honey, you make a lot more money fixing cars than you will being a temp. Temp Wilson. What's up, Temp Wilson? What's your name? I'm Temp Wilson. We'll have a job. We'll work for pennies. And come over here bragging about it. I'm working. Stupid ass idiot. You know how many people are working right now, girl, who cannot wait for the day they ain't got to do it no more, girl. I put my time in, and now I'm taking my feet off. I'm taking my shoes off and my socks, girl. And I'm going to soak my feet for the rest of my goddamn life if I want to. You got it? Oh, well, you ain't never been working. Can't hold a job. Your personality is too extreme, girl. You're probably going there telling people what the fuck their job is. They've been there 30 years. You've been there as a temp, and you got all the answers. As I keep telling you, punk ass, if you don't know something, if you don't know anything about it, girl, why are you talking about it? You shouldn't even have a comment, girl, if you don't know a goddamn thing about it. It doesn't stop in the middle. It will play when you first come on. Yeah, I get that. The ex-wife. Okay, the ex-wife is saying no, it doesn't stop in the middle. She's talking about commercials. It will play when you first come on after maybe a few minutes. Okay, so the commercial, put the commercial in the front of the live. If I do that, yeah, they give you the option of replacing before and after, before and after the live. But there'll be two spots, you know. We get pennies for them anyway. And then, but thanks for the information, ex-wife. That makes total good sense. You see, since I have these blockers on my computer, on all of them, I never see commercials of anybody. So I really don't know, you know, what's going on with it. But the replay is fine, you know. If you're getting a few thousand people on your replay, what difference does it make? Really? I just don't see that it's any big accomplishment to do these huge long lives. Plus, when you are live and you're not getting commercials, and you have all these people in here, like you have 2,000 people in your live. Now that might be a good time for you to connect with your audience and all that. But all of those people have already seen the live. They were there. They were present, right? So most of them will not go and watch the replay. Why? Because they saw the live. So a big number in the live is not necessarily the best thing. We're just saying it just for conversation, you know. I don't pay for premium to block them. Yeah, I pay for premium too. Premium for commercials and also for I watch movies on here. They give you good movies. You got to pay for no commercials, and it's pretty cheap. I think it's only like $11. Oh hell no, Heather Shore. Watch Jay Wilson for 3 hours, girl. That'd be like the Chinese water torture. Girl, they have you in a room just playing Jay Wilson videos. Stop it. Okay, I'll talk. I'm sorry. Ah! Calm down, boy. Your daddy's not having a heart attack. Calm your ass down. God loves you, Tracy. Wrath in the fire pit to anyone that try to harm you. No, we're glad Chris is doing fine. I hope you got enough coinage to make up for the difference, Tracy. See, that's good. I like that kind of thing. Right. That kind of support. That's good. Whether y'all want to go and start paying Jay Wilson's bills, because at some point he's going to get so frustrated with constantly losing jobs, he's just going to give up and he's just going to hang around YouTube all day. Mm-hmm. Because as a temporary person, I don't think he was getting that much money from the job anyway. They caught him on this one job, but that doesn't mean that's the only one he's had. I mean, if you need a temp in another hospital, what do? You call the same agency, right? They can send you any. No temp agency only works for one hospital or one company, right? They're a temp agency. That means many organizations have all signed into to the agency for when they need temporary help, right? Could explain why he, first of all, he won't even address anything that has a negative effect on him, but why he will not put those other videos up. But guess what? Jay Wilson has gotten 27 videos since 2 weeks ago. He already got 24 videos, I believe is the number. Those are just as poisonous as the other ones, Jay Wilson. So maybe you should just make them all, strip them all bald, girl. You're just too much. Really. You're just too much to be parading around as a chaplain. And Jay Wilson, why did you choose that career anyway? I mean, chaplaincy, ministry, anything involving in church. Why would you choose something like that? Considering the kind of person that you really are. I mean, you're one of the vicious, most nasty people on here, right? You're still trying to find a way you can talk about Dovey and talk about anybody who's doing bad. Now you're talking to that guy, Big Man. I see you're all up in his draws. Why, girl? Right? I mean, it just doesn't seem like ministry to me. It seems like you would have other interests, girl. Maybe you can be an auto mechanic, a 55-year-old auto mechanic, girl. Do something else, Jay Wilson. Something that doesn't involve. That's why you like Uber so much, because you ain't got to deal with nobody, just the passenger. But you better be careful with them passengers, Jay Wilson. Running your goddamn mouth. You see how many videos they got on here of Uber drivers being strangled and choked and stabbed in the back of their head, girl? All you got to do is go on YouTube. Uber drivers attacked. Do your research. You're not even safe there, girl. You don't get along. You don't play well with others. You've never been able to keep a job. And when you're driving that car, you feel like you have independence now. If you could shut your damn mouth while you're driving, girl, perhaps that'll work for you. Just be an Uber driver for the rest of your life, girl. You could have done that with a fourth grade education. So when you're writing them checks to the student loans, girl, think about that. What have I really gotten from that? And why aren't any of these degrees? Why don't any of them have anything to do with the other ones, girl? So we want to thank TEMP Wilson. Yes, I said it right. TEMP Wilson for another video. You are a great supply of content, bitch. Right? So we want to thank you for content today. Your name is now TEMP Wilson. Or would you prefer TEMP Wilcox? Because it doesn't make any sense to try to hide your name now. Everybody and their mama know your names thing. What are you? You're still trying to hide, girl. When you first started sucking people's dicks, you hid that. You hid it. That had to be painful because you are a flamer on the inside, girl. And you're trying to be something else on the outside for all those years. I think it's time to let it go. It looks like another lover. TKO. Day. Whoa. Thank y'all for coming in on today. Look at that. I'm still behind. God. Maybe your uncle's a little bit retarded. I can't say the R word. Maybe I'm delayed. Look at all these lovely darlings in here. Cat Bryant. ABA. Petey. For a vacation built around compassion. Jay Wilson has got to be the least compassionate person in the beef sector. He is. For a vocation, okay, I hear what you're saying, PD. For a vocation built around compassion, Jay Wilson has got the least compassion, is the least compassionate person in the beef or black sector. It is the truth. He is the meanest, the nastiest, right? He don't have no compassion for people who are lost. Nothing. No desire at all. He wants to laugh at them, make fun of them. That's the real Jay Wilson. And as long as you're pretending, you will always be found out, girl. You're an insincere person. You have no place in any kind of ministry at all. It's all so fake. Even when you start stomping on them keys, girl. Hallelujah. Girl, all that is just for $1. All that is for $1 if you can trick them people to let you in. And like I said before, Jay Wilson, it is very rare that you ever invited back. Right? Why? Because you don't sound good. You can probably fake your way through 5 songs, Jay Wilson. It's all, and the rest of them, they're what they call, the young people call it cringeworthy. That all those runs. You're not Kim Burrell, bitch. He tried to do all the goddamn runs to the song. How many runs can you put in one song, Jay Wilson? You're not impressing nobody, girl. Sit your ass down. Somebody's hacking over here? Over where? Uh-huh. Honorary person. Grace, you've been saying it for years. I've been saying that for years. I always thought he was the darkest and most honorary person in the beef sector, in the sector, period. And it is the truth. We can't get around that, honey. He is the nastiest. That is the least, that person is the very last person on this planet you need praying over you. You know that's how he introduced himself to Timothy Blaine, don't you? I was laying on my deathbed, girl, dying from cancer. They're about to cut my ass open. And what this Jay Wilson over here praying for me? It might be the reason I had all them complications, girl. Don't have these spirits praying on you, girl. I said, oh, no, thank you. No, ZX. Okay, Sharana. Okay. Not being mean, but he doesn't show any compassion unless he wants help. Then he act sad for the coins. Sad for the coins, baby. Then he tell them all how they not his friends, how he don't care, and it don't matter, and all this old shit, child. After he get the coin. Poverty can turn people into psychopaths. Oh my God. See, I was never affected by poverty like that. I've never considered myself to be a poor person, right? My mama did the best she could. It was a single mother, but I think she did okay, girl. And I've never carried that from the projects. I never carried that into my regular life. But Jay Wilson, he's scarred. He's wounded. He's a wounded person, right? And before he started going out in front of people trying to save some damn body, girl, he needs to save himself. Physician, heal thyself. Somebody hacked James? Who did? Someone has hacked James. James Caldwell's account? Oh, no. What are y'all talking about? Which page is, what name is the page under? Let's see if we can see what's going on here. Is it James Caldwell? Or is it Treasure Lane? I think he was on another one for a lot of hours minutes ago. He was on Milan Treasure. Let's just check one of them. Spill It Boy. Spill It Boy TV. Uh-oh, there's a problem. Okay. All of James Caldwell's videos are gone. What the fuck? All of the thumbnails are blank. That's what I'm getting. Let's go on one of them. Oh my God. Oh shit. Oh no, honey. I know he's upset about that. This account has been terminated for violating YouTube's community guidelines. All right, people. This is not a joke, man. Hold on. James Caldwell's page has been hacked. Well, I don't know what the circumstances are, but when you go to his page, the one called Spill It Boy TV, it says this account has been terminated for violating YouTube's community guidelines, and all the videos are gone. The whole page is gone, right? Now he has several pages, so I don't know who did that, who's responsible for that. Let's try one more, just because we're here. We care about James Caldwell. If he starts another one, we have to immediately sign on to it. The other one, I think, is Treasure. Oh, Treasure. How you spell Treasure Lane? God dog it. Here you are. Okay, so he's still up on the other channel. He's still up on Treasure Lane, and he's let's see the other one. He's got another one called Milan Treasure. I think he barely uses that one. Milan Treasure. Yeah, he's up on all his channels. He's still up on Milan Treasure. He's down on everything that says Spill It Boy TV is gone though. Okay, so he's got to fight and get that back. Sorry to hear that, James Caldwell. See, that's unfair. You don't fuck with people like that. That's wrong. That is wrong. There's the evil part of YouTube. People want to put you in jail. They want you unemployed. They want you to have no channel. They don't want you to eat. They don't give a fuck about you and all the work you put in on here. They don't care. They want to ruin you and hurt you. Why? Because they're hurt. Hurt people hurt people. The Russians, what the fuck the Russians do? Is that a group of people? Oh, that makes me sad. It just happened a few minutes ago. I received a notification. His main, that's his main page. He does a lot on Treasure Lane too. He does on Spill It Boy TV. I think he does most of his reviews and celebrity type stuff. I think Treasure Lane though is where we're most familiar with him because that's where he does his cleanups and so forth. So, I mean, I'm sure he work it out. I don't see that he's done anything that's going to warrant his page being totally gone. So, for now, people, go to Treasure Lane. That's where you'll find James Caldwell. Okay? All right, people. Thanks for coming in. Later.